Hi, I'm Thomas. In this lesson, we'll go over the English words and phrases you need for hailing taxis, giving directions, discussing routes, and using rideshare apps effectively. First, let's look at some essential transportation words. The fare is the amount that you need to pay the driver. In taxis, it's calculated by the meter. In ride shares, it's shown on the app before you confirm. If using a taxi, it's usually best to make sure they turn on the meter. Uber and Lyft apply surge pricing, which is a higher rate during rush hour and other busy times of the day. The location where you get out of the vehicle is called the drop off point. An ETA, or estimated time of arrival, is when you should reach your destination based on current traffic conditions. When a taxi driver says they're free, it means they're available. It doesn't mean there's no charge. This can be kind of confusing sometimes. I need to get to whatever destination is the most direct way to tell the driver where you want to go. I like to ask about the price before starting a trip, too, so I have a general idea of how much it'll cost. And I always ask taxis to turn the meter on, too. Once you're in the vehicle, you may need to give the driver specific directions. I'm going to whatever the address is usually all you have to say these days. Google Maps has made it a lot easier for taxis to find places, as long as the address you give them is correct. Having the address written down or on your phone in the local language is really helpful here. Sometimes large buildings, hotels, or airports have more than one entrance. Make sure the driver knows which one you want to be dropped off at. If you're not sure of the exact address, you can ask the driver to drop you off at a nearby, well known landmark, like the main train station, or at a major intersection, like the corner of 36th Avenue and Broadway. Sometimes you need to talk about or change the route to find the quickest way if there's a lot of traffic. Or if you're not in a hurry, you might want to take the scenic route and stay off the highways. If you notice a driver going around in circles, you can tell them, "This doesn't seem like the right direction. Can you check your GPS?" In some countries, taxi drivers take the scenic route on purpose so they can charge you more. That's why I always use rideshare apps these days. I know exactly what the price is going to be before I get in the vehicle. And when the Uber, Lyft, or Grab driver arrives, you want to ask their name or check the license plate on the car to make sure it's the right driver. And you're not about to go to a destination somebody else has to go to. Most drivers will help you if you have heavy bags, but it's polite to ask rather than just assume that they'll pick up your bag for you. If you need to pick something up or drop something off on your ride, add it in the app if possible. But you can also ask the driver. There may be an extra charge for this, but they're usually willing to help. Drivers will usually wait while you go inside somewhere, but be realistic about timing and the safety of your bags if you leave them in the vehicle. A lot of rideshare apps accept online payments, but with taxis, it's important to know whether they take credit cards or not. And if you plan to write the ride off as a business expense, make sure to get a receipt. When you take taxis in foreign countries, always confirm that the meter is turned on. And as soon as you start moving, Check that the meter is running correctly. Taxi drivers worldwide are notorious for overcharging tourists and travelers. A lot of airports have flat rate fares to popular destinations that are usually posted clearly in the taxi waiting area. I really like Uber, Grab, and similar apps because I know the price before I get in the vehicle. There are no surprises. Before I get into a rideshare car, I always check to make sure the license plate on the back of the car is the same exact number as the one listed on the app that I ordered from. And when you arrive in a new place, it's really helpful to get a business card from your hotel and any other destinations that you'll visit often. So you can just show it to taxi drivers or even people on the street that can give you directions. A lot of digital nomads like to use local rideshare apps in Southeast Asia. Grab is the most dominant one. Each region has its own app. Download the local app when you arrive in a new country, and it'll save you a lot of headache and a lot of money. Let's practice thinking about how to communicate with a taxi driver in English and get to the airport in time for your flight. This is the kind of communication exercise we practice in one on one sessions. Taking the words and phrases you learn in these lessons and turning them into confident conversations so you can get to the airport in time instead of having some random taxi driver in Timbuktu take you on an unnecessary 2 hour long scenic drive around the city. Now that you can use taxis and ride shares with confidence, it's time to talk about public transportation. And that's exactly what we'll cover in lesson 15. If you want to review prepositions of place, like in the taxi, on the corner, at the airport, check out grammar lesson number 6. And for pronunciation practice with the sound in words like arrive, address, and receipt, see pronunciation lesson 13. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the subway station.